What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about and be the owner of some real deal money. I'm talking that real deal silver, maybe even some of that real deal gold. Today, I wanted to talk about how much of the silver it would take if you were to measure your ounces in dollars. How much silver would it take to be a millionaire in October 2025? We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel for even more videos. Make sure to follow me on Instagram for some coin photography, TikTok for some little video snippets, and of course X, where the party's at, for all of my thoughts on precious metals, business stocks, real estate, AI, memes, the list goes on, at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms, or I will leave them linked in the description. I will also be leaving linked in the description some Amazon affiliate links if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, or maybe some camping or prepping supplies. They will all be linked down below. And last but certainly not least, make sure to come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club. It's a digital lounge for stackers and people that care about their finances. You get early and ad-free access to every single one of my videos, and from time to time you get some bonus exclusive content. VIP Club link in the description. All right, so in today's video, we got to talk a little bit about silver. Now, over the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks at this point, silver has gone from as low as $47. It worked its way up 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, and for a brief period touched 54. Came back down a little bit, and it's currently sitting at, I'll put it right here on the screen, $51.86. So just a hair under $52 at the time I am recording this video. I am recording this video on Sunday, October 19th, 2025 at 10 o'clock in the morning. The precious metals market is currently closed. But for the sake of simplicity, we're going to use a nice, round, solid number. We're just going to call it $50 just to make things simple, just to make math a little bit easier, and to make this formula a little bit more manageable. So if we were to take $1 million and divide it by $50 per troy ounce, that brings us to 20,000 ounces of silver. That's how much silver you would need right now, technically a little bit less because of the spot price, but you would need about 20,000 ounces of silver to be a silver millionaire right now. Here's the issue with that. Or actually, before I get into the issue with that, let's also talk about gold really quick. The spot price of gold at the time I'm recording this video is $4,250.80. So the same equation, $1 million divided by the spot price of gold, brings us to about 235 ounces of gold. You would need 235 ounces of gold to be a millionaire in gold. Or if you had half of that blended with 10,000 ounces of silver, you'd be a precious metal millionaire right now. Split right down the middle, 50-50 silver, 50-50 gold. You would be a precious metal millionaire that way. I personally see a little bit of a problem with measuring your wealth in dollars when it comes to precious metals. See, precious metals, they are not something that are supposed to be looked at as an investment. You shouldn't be focusing on the silver or the gold as a way of making money or generating wealth or creating wealth, building wealth. That's what the stock market is for. That's what business ownership is for. That's what real estate is for. Building wealth. Precious metals are for preserving wealth. Preserving the wealth that has already been built. A store of value a hedge against inflation. That's what the silver and the gold is supposed to be. So hypothetically, if you were to have been able to work your way up to owning 20,000 ounces of silver, which if you attach a dollar bill amount to it today would make you a millionaire, should you really look at it, that mountain of silver, and say to yourself, that's $1 million worth of silver? In my opinion, not really. That's not exactly how it should be measured. I think you should look at that 20,000 ounces of silver and refer to it as 20,000 ounces of silver for a couple of different reasons. Number one, the volatility. 20,000 ounces of silver in dollars might be worth a whole lot more or a little bit less tomorrow. The volatility plays a big role in that. But two, and more importantly, the long-term potential in terms of hedging against inflation, capital appreciation oftentimes being a direct reflection of the dollar bill, the US dollar, our currency, going down in value. If the dollar bill sinks, oftentimes you'll notice that silver and gold, not instantaneously, but has a little bit of a delayed reaction. As the dollar goes down, the precious metals go up. It's almost like a mirror image. You'll notice this. So, when it comes to measuring your stack of silver and or gold, it's best to measure it in troy ounces. 15 troy ounces of silver, 100 troy ounces of silver, 3,000 troy ounces of silver, 20,000 troy ounces of silver, as opposed to $100 worth or $1,000 worth or $1 million worth. It's best to measure it in troy ounces. And I'm going to put a little bit of a spin on this as well. If you were to somehow become this person who has the means of acquiring 20,000 troy ounces of silver today, if you don't own any silver and you decide for yourself, I want to be a silver millionaire, and you go and get quote unquote $1 million worth of silver, number one, it's going to cost you more than $1 million because you got to factor in a premium. Especially right now, there's so much hype and excitement going on surrounding precious metals that bullion dealers can get away with cranking up the premiums because they know you're going to pay. If you want premiums to be lower, then support your local coin shop, I always say. But here's the thing. In the process of becoming a millionaire, whether that's your goal or not, if you're on a mission to building yourself a net worth of $1 million, or you're just building wealth and becoming a millionaire is just an inevitable part of the process, whether it's the main priority or not, if you're there or if you're on your way, diversification is key. I don't think your entire net worth, I don't believe your entire net worth should be reliant on one particular asset class. I do not believe that's smart. I do not find it intelligent to be all in on silver. The reason I say that is because I don't think it's intelligent to be all in on anything on the planet. I think it's best to have your hand in multiple baskets. I think it's smarter, safer, and more beneficial, and more opportunistic to be well diversified. So if you're on your way to becoming a millionaire, the precious metals should be, on the pie chart, should be a percentage of the overall. It should not be the entire pie chart. It should not be 100% precious metals. That's not safe, that's not smart, that's not beneficial. Gotta be diversified. Now, there are a variety of different ways you can go about diversifying. Real estate is one way of going about it. That is something that's out of reach for a lot of people. People complain that silver's too expensive right now. Oh my God, over $50. All right, yeah, try buying multiple multifamily homes. You want to talk about expensive. So I understand. Real estate may be out of the question or out of reach at the moment. Doesn't have to be in the long run. You can work your way up to being capable of investing in real estate. But let's just say you're not there just yet. There's other ways to diversify as well. There's the stock market. There's business ownership. There's crypto. Now, I've been very clear over the last almost 10 years. I'm not the biggest crypto fanatic. I do believe that if you want to diversify a little bit, because even though I'm not the biggest crypto fanatic, I do believe in diversification, and I do understand its role in the world. If you want to play it safe, but still diversify, I see absolutely nothing wrong with dedicating, 2 to 5% to the digitals. Worst case scenario, you lose everything on that little tiny measly 2 to 5% of your net worth. Might not be the biggest deal in the world. If you want to roll the dice a little bit more, but still kind of play it safe, 5 to 10%, if you want. If that 5 to 10% all went to zero, hypothetically, is it going to kill you? No. You still got 95% of everything else. But the point I'm trying to make is something very, very speculative like that, or ultra volatile, you might not want to dedicate a large portion of your portfolio to that particular asset class, but you might still want to be in that realm, and you might still want to get your piece of the pie. And for the sake of diversification, it's probably better to have a little bit than to not have any at all. And that's coming from the perspective of someone who's not the biggest fanatic. I understand that there are a lot of people out there who, for whatever reason in the world, are all in on that particular asset class. Put 100% of their dollars into Bitcoin. Hey, your money. The stock market is a way most people go about diversifying. And I would say it's the easiest way to diversify because broad market index funds exist. You can go and get yourself an ETF that mirrors the S&P 500, and just one investment gets you a small piece of 500 different companies. The 500 biggest, best performing, publicly traded U.S. companies. And it gets adjusted by default. You don't have to worry about, 500, which one's doing the worst? From 1 to 500, which one is number 500? And should I swap that out with the next best? Nope. That does it all for you. It's all automated. It's all automatic. It's all taken care of by default. Anything that's lagging behind gets bumped out and replaced with what's coming up next. All in one little basket. All in one investment. So that's the ultimate way of diversifying. But it does fall under the stock market umbrella. Do you want to be all in on the stock market? Probably not. You do want to mix and match it up. So when you're on the road to becoming a millionaire, you do want to be in multiple realms. You want to be in multiple places at once. You want to be benefiting from as many different sources as you can. The stock market, for maximum exposure, maximum diversification, you can get a total world index, by the way. An ETF that holds every single publicly traded company on the planet. That exists. Stock market for maximum exposure. All different markets. International markets. Small and mid caps. Large caps. Everything. Precious metals. To preserve wealth that's being built. Crypto potentially for potential explosivity and new school money. I mean, with crypto also comes the question, is it digital currency? Or is it a store of information? Could go either way. It trades like a software stock. But either way, there's that. There's business ownership. I do believe everyone should have, maybe not necessarily a full-fledged business, but everyone should have a side hustle. If you have a full-time job, you should have a secondary stream of income. You should have an additional way of making money outside of working for your employer, regardless of how big or small the little side gig is. Whether you have a pressure washing business that you do on the weekends, dog walking, Uber Eats, online entertainment, whatever the case may be, you should have an additional stream of income, at least one additional stream of income. You should have as many as you could possibly get, but whatever it takes, don't just have one. Relying on one stream of income is no different than putting your entire net worth into one particular asset. You gotta diversify the way you're building wealth and preserving wealth, and also the way you are earning income. These are some of the steps you can take to work your way up to becoming a millionaire. And if, hypothetically, you were to have gone all in on silver, or maybe not even all in on silver, but let's just say you accumulated 20,000 ounces of silver. According to the spot price right now, you would have more than, quote unquote, $1 million worth of silver. How crazy is that? I know 20,000 ounces of silver sounds pretty abstract, sounds pretty wild, sounds pretty out of reach. A lot of people are thinking right now, 20,000 ounces of silver. I don't even have the cash to buy 20 ounces of silver, let alone 20,000. Well, guess what? None of us are going and getting 20,000 ounces in one shot. None of us are going out and getting 20,000 ounces of silver whimsically. No. We're getting 1 to 5, maybe 1 to 10 ounces of silver at a time. Little by little. Maybe a small handful of silver every week, or every couple weeks, every month, every couple months, a couple of times a year. Little by little. Small steps in the right direction will eventually lead you to where you want to go. This is the compound effect. This is compound interest. Small steps in the right direction will inevitably lead you to where you want to go. And if where you want to go is 1,000 ounces of silver, 5,000 ounces of silver, 20,000 ounces of silver, every ounce of silver you pick up is 1 ounce of silver closer to that goal. That is a small step in the right direction to your ultimate goal. This is the compound effect. Quite literally the compound effect. Compound interest. And if you started hypothetically late 2017, early 2018 like I did, and you started picking up silver between $14 and $17 per troy ounce, and you saw it crack $20, you saw it work its way up and break into the $30 an ounce range. You saw it keep on climbing and hit $40. You saw it hit a 14-year high. And then you saw it climb to $45 and then get into the high 40s and then get really close to $50, and you would have been able to say to yourself, oh my God, it's about to hit $50. It's about to break into an all-new all-time high. And then just last week or just a couple days ago, you would have seen it. You would have witnessed. You would have seen history be made by silver reaching a brand new all-time high. Went over $50. 51, 52, 53. Who knows where it's going to be heading this week? But either way, There will be people in the future that are going to be saying, God, I wish I started getting silver at 50 bucks. There's going to be a lot of people saying that at 60 bucks. Going to be a lot of people saying that at 75 bucks. Who knows? Never in a million years would I have expected to be able to say, man, I might see $100 silver during my lifetime. I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, granted, it hasn't happened yet, but look at that. We're more than halfway there. And all hell could break loose. And we could work our way up to $100 an ounce very, very quickly. Which, by the way, side note, at that point, you would only need 10,000 ounces of silver. But the point I'm trying to make is that there are going to be a lot of people saying, man, I saw it hit 50, or I saw it about to hit 50, or I saw it just as it went over $50. I thought it was too expensive. I should have bought. Now it's 60, now it's 70, now it's 90. There will be people saying that. Just like people today are saying that they should have bought at 40. They should have bought at 30. And at 30, people were saying, should have bought at 20. Just putting that out there. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to measuring your wealth in precious metals, would you rather measure them in ounces, troy ounces, or dollars? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and make sure to follow me on Instagram for some coin photography, TikTok for some little video snippets, and X, which is where the party's at for all of my thoughts regarding precious metals, business, stocks, real estate, AI, memes, the list goes on, at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms, or you can click the links in the description of this video. If you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, or maybe some prepping or camping supplies, I will be leaving a bunch of Amazon affiliate links in the description as well for your convenience. And last but certainly not least, you need to become a member of the Precious Metals VIP Club. It is a digital lounge for the stackers and the people that care about their finances. You get early and commercial-free access to every single one of my videos because it's off of YouTube. And from time to time, you're going to get some bonus exclusive VIP-only content. VIP Club link in the description. And once again, head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. How many ounces of silver do you think you're going to need maybe a couple of years out from now? What do you think the spot price could be? And how many ounces of silver would you need at that point to be a quote-unquote silver millionaire? And of course, would you rather measure your wealth in ounces or dollars? Head on down to the comments and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.